So I have one other fire story. Was I was in high school. I was like my senior year of high school, and I got a job with this company called Laundry Solution, and they delivered laundry. Like they would pick up your laundry, do it, get it clean, and then we'd re-deliver it. And I delivered to Chris Mullins' house. Do you know who he is?
Mm-mm. Sounds familiar.
He was the starting forward white guy for the Warriors. He was like well notorious with Run TMC back in the day, which was like the Chris Mullin. I forget who else it was. It was Tim Hardaway. Anyway, he was very popular forward for the Warriors. Anyway. I'd steal his laundry.
So you had this one coming.
I took his practice jerseys like all the time.
Right, you're just like I'm gonna sell this.
And
shit.
his wife was an Uber. Okay, she wasn't even remotely cool. Like he didn't give a fuck about anything. He was super. Right. He liked me. He'd always stop and say hi. And his wife was the meanest lady ever, and she took offense to me stealing his practice jerseys. Which I only took like 3, but still, I get it. I'm stealing his fucking clothes.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, I mean, they take it along to the team, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And so me and my friend Jamie would always get really, really fucking high or take acid or do something and then take the Laundry Solution van. And so I went to Chris Mullen's house, dropped off his clothes minus the practice jersey. And then we took a hit of acid each and took the Laundry Solution van to San Francisco.
This was after you got fired or before?
No, I was working there at the time.
Okay. Yeah,
and
yeah.
So,
you had this one coming for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, and then I got so fucking fucked up on acid that I backed the van into a trash can, one of the dumpsters.
Uh-huh.
Dented that up, and then on the way back, like 4 hours past my shift, where the lady who owned the place was like, "Where the fuck are you?" I was like, "I'm on my way back. Sorry, I fell asleep at home." She was like, "Get back here now." I swear I heard the devil. She was like, so I went back, and I'm frying balls, bro. I mean, out of my fucking mind. And I get back, and she's furious. And I thought somebody told her I crashed a van.
She don't even know about that. She's
she
mad
didn't even know about that. And then she's like, "Are you stealing laundry from Chris Mullen?" And I was like, "What?"
Yeah. Who's
no.
that?
Who? Yeah. And then she was like, "You've taken 3 practice jerseys." And I was like, "Maybe I did."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "You need to return them." And I was like, "I quit."
I ain't doing it.
She's like, "You can't quit
Over my
You're fired.
dead body.
And I was like, "Oh, by the way, I crashed a van."
Yeah. I'm just like exit stage left, like the little noise is like bitty, 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 bitty.
It's like Zoidberg running away.
Yeah, and you're just like smoking a joint in a Chris Mullins jersey.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
fuck that job.
Yeah. Fuck that job. And my dad was like, "Did you crash the laundry van?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Chris Mullins did that shit.
And my dad was like, "You idiot."
I didn't have an.
That was it.
That was it. Yeah,
get a different job.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, "You're going back to work at Pizza freaking Hut." Or oh, Round Table. Sorry.
Oh my god, dude.
I didn't
phenomenal.
have
That one's going in the fucking pod.
nearly as much fun as a kid.
Oh, no?
No.
Oh, jeez.
Well, it was way different back then.
Yeah.
We had way more freedom than the kids do now.
Yeah. Not only was I raised Jehovah's Witness, so there was that whole
Were you knocking on
aspect.
doors?
No.
Hello,
No.
my name's Shay.
No.
No.
No, we just went to hall.
Hall?
Yeah. That's what they call church.
Oh.
And
You
like,
grew up in Utah?
no, those are Mormons.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Mormon. Sorry.
I don't blame you. I would have been. Yeah.
So no, I never took acid and crashed a company van.
Boring life.
No, dude. For some reason, I took every job I had so seriously, even if I was just a hostess.
Really?
And I was like, I'm going to be the best hostess.
Well,
I think that's probably
Who
because
fucking cares?
you didn't know any better.
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't know
You didn't know any better
I-
that you can just go to a job and
not
fuck off.
Yeah.
give a fuck.
You could
I
just go
always
high.
gave a fuck. I always went high, but like you can always count it on me to show up 10 minutes late and smelling like pot, no matter where I go or what I do.
Oh yeah, I used to get that by teachers. They'd be like,
Yeah,
Jason,
teachers too.
why do you smell like pot? And I'd be like, oh, I have no idea.
That's weird. My roommate, dude. I had to deliver to Chris Mullen's house. That
Yeah.
dude's a fucking fiend.
Yeah. Chris Mullen's wife is a big smoker.
Yeah.
And, like-
I was wearing Chris Mullen's jersey earlier. It smelled like weed still.
I guess the only like big drugs and cars interaction I ever had when I was a kid was one time I got arrested for having a half a gram of weed in a grinder and a bowl. It was like honestly some
arrest
shit.
you for that?
Yeah, I was arrested, and
What?
they didn't call my parents because I was 16. So the first thing you have to do when you arrest a minor is call the guardian before you even like put them in the cop car. You got to fucking call their parents. They did not do that.
Wow.
They arrested me for that and like bullied me the whole time too. Hello, this is the police in Ybor City, and this is Fear Tactics. Is that what the show was called?
Scare Tactics.
And this is Scare Tactics.
Wow. Do you know what my town? I must have had 50 different cops be like, "You got weed on you again, Jason?" I'd be like, "Yeah," and hand it to them, and they just make me step on it and crush it out. They would never write us tickets.
No,
Yeah.
I got
Or arrest us
That's
for
pretty
arrested.
fucking cool, dude.
Car
cops knew all of
impounded.
us.
I had a car for 2 weeks when I was in high school. So I never counted as like owning a car, but my insurance does. So since I got arrested with a drug charge when I was like 15, 16, they suspended my license, and that counts as having points on your license or something. So when I turned 18 and I needed a car to get to college, I couldn't afford the car insurance because when I was 15 or 16, I got arrested with a half gram of weed.
That's crazy.
And my car insurance was then going to be like $500-$600 a month as an 18-year-old trying to get to school.
So you said, "I'm getting a motorcycle."
I said, fuck that shit. I can't do that. So
Who needs
actually,
insurance?
no, I did not say I'm going to get a motorcycle. I took the bus for 2 weeks to college.
Then you said, "Oh, fuck this shit." I'm
And
getting
I don't
a
know if you
motorcycle."
guys know
the bus,
anything
you're like,
about public transit in
"Sit."
Tampa, Florida. It's horrible.
Well, pretty sure public transport.
My school was
Everywhere is
5
horrible.
miles away. It took 2 hours
Oh wow.
type shit.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I would have ridden a bicycle at that point.
Oh yeah, all day.
I
Or
thought about it.
skateboard.
I thought about it.
Every time I see somebody using a skateboard to travel, I'm just
What
like,
are you doing, dude?
I imagine the black. They have. I don't care how old or young they are. I'm just imagine the room is full of blacklight posters, and they're just like bumping some fucking Linkin Park,
Right.
Right, and they live at home, even if they're 55.
Yep.
They live at home, and they like yell. Mom yells at them when they come home.
For sure.
And they just like they flop down on their bed and fucking put some earphones on and. I mean,
I never
you're
got
doing
to
it
do
more
anything
now.
fun. I've tried acid before, but I did it at like a music festival in the forest when I was like 22.
Yeah, not like
That was like a pretty safe space, you know, if you're going
22.
to ask me about places to do drugs besides your house.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I wasn't
mine was always in
getting
like the
into
stab
any
and grab
danger.
parking lot, dude. It was like a gas station park, 7-Eleven.
I wasn't
dude.
driving a company
drugs.
truck around, you know, like I was definitely, I feel like everyone's like, oh, drugs and music festivals. I'm like, do you guys remember where you guys did drugs? Because it was in your company van while you were driving
I'm sure you
around.
did.
that was
Maybe
just
music
one of
festivals, too.
many places. But
Okay, well,
you
I'm
know,
just saying, like, I
for
didn't.
us, it was the Grateful Dead shows, parking lot, Oakland Coliseum. We just go. That was like a every weekend thing.
Yeah.
Like the Dead played the Oakland Coliseum all the time, so you could just go sit in the parking lot. We never went into. I'd never been into one Dead show. Only the parking lot. That was the spot to go, hang
Right,
out,
hang in
get
the
a
parking
couple
lot.
nitrous balloons, take some acid. What? And just hang out in this big party inside the Oakland Coliseum parking lot.
Nitrous
That's hilarious.
balloons.
That's
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
that you
That's
did
like
that.
my secret weapon.
Dude.
It's like I don't do drugs anymore because
$5,
I've
that's
like
all they were.
actually used to do drugs, and I'm like, no, I'm clean now. I only smoke weed, you know, for my.
But you take a nitrous balloon.
But like every so often, I see that nitrous balloon, and I'm like,
I know, it's so fun.
Shay never had.
Don't
There's
mind
a
if I
lot of
do.
experiences that she didn't have, and most of them have to do with either breaking the law or more likely not caring about the law. Because she didn't have her go through what I know you went through, which is, do you remember when you stopped looking over your shoulder when you were driving? Like, do you remember? For me, it was almost like all of a sudden I found myself not doing it because there was always something wrong.
Oh yeah,
there was like the tag was expired, a headlight was out, I had drugs, I had no insurance, my license was suspended. It was and there was always so many things that I would just drive with anyway.
Yeah, no.
That I'm like, it didn't matter that I knew. I would just be like, there's something. They're gonna pull me over. There's like 5 things probably that are gonna be wrong, and you just drive anyway. And you just kind of learn to live with the anxiety, and it makes you not care about literally anything.
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't give a shit about nothing, dude.
Yeah, that's definitely happened. That's the era difference right there, right? Today's kids, like, you can't have anything. You're getting pulled over. And if you get pulled over, you're done. Like, there's no...
You get pulled over, they're like...
You can't have a gram of cocaine on you today.
No. You're done, dude.
You can't have a half a gram of weed on you.
Yeah.
Now, talk about a gram of cocaine.
Now you can.
Yeah.
In fact, you can have much more than that on you.
What?
Weed.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you can have whatever.
Hey,
you
in
want.
Portland, freaking 6 months ago, you could have a
I think you could have
0.99 of a gram of cocaine on you, and they'd still just be like, "Well, go about your business, sir."
You're not selling it, obviously.
Yeah, this is obviously for personal use.
Yeah.
Like,
what, dude? So the cops, if it was more than a gram, they'd be like, I think I'll take that. Thank you.
Yeah, no kidding. No, I'm glad they rolled that back here, though, because I think it really was a detriment to Portland. Allowing free reign drug use here was not a good plan, whoever decided
I feel like it set Portland back a generation.
It 100% did.
You know, there's a whole generation. It's like it's going to take a whole nother crop of kids being born.
Yep.
To like fight their way back from this.
100. Yep.
Dude, it's
turned the city to shit.
Yeah, you see it like businesses closed, shit's fucked up, dirty, like it's bad, dude. It's going to take years and years and years to come back from that. It is coming back. It's better.
No, it's a little bit, I would say. Like, you can see the cleanup around here. It's starting to happen, but I will tell you, when I first came out here 12, 13 years ago, Portland was beautiful. There was none of this. There was almost like no homeless. I mean, it was not like it is today.
Yeah.
Like, it was a little mini clean version of San Francisco. Everybody would say, like, oh my God, waterfront down Portland. And now it's like...
And that happened because there's no reason for people to come here. No. Portland is isolated. If you look at Portland on a map, it's an isolated place. People have to travel to get here. They have to have a reason to come.
Yeah.
And the reason was, it's an open air drug market.
Right.
And
people
you can put your tent on the
everywhere.
street. And they came from everywhere. And they're just like, we live here now. So you go around and you talk to homeless people. It's not like they're down on their luck people from here.
No, most of them are not from here.
Wild.
I can tell you, as somebody who lives here like only several times a year, you can notice a difference. Yeah. It's like kind of how, you don't see your friend as often, so you're like, oh wow, you lost a lot of weight, or you didn't.
So we also started coming when it was at its worst during COVID, and then we came back, and all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, that's different.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep drugs fun, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well,
Stop abusing.
Drugs are never the problem. It's the circumstances of the drug user or the drug use, like drugs are not the problem. It's the circumstances.
Well, I managed to get my way through several jobs and pay rent and pay for a car, all while on drugs and drinking.
Well, I was able to do all those things with drugs.
Yeah.
Like selling them, I mean.
I will say I never was able to be very successful while I was doing all those things. It was definitely fun, but never. I mean, these weren't jobs that I was like, that's my career. I'm going to be a laundry solution driver forever.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't understand why I always treated it like.
Could have gotten into sports memorabilia.
I could have been tripping acid while showing people to their table. Like, why was I so serious?
What a side hustle, huh?
How'd you get into sports memorabilia? Well,
I used to deliver laundry.
Those are like, I love that. Rags to riches.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Well,
So, I mean, that, but, you know, like most of us, dude, I got, you know, the reason, why do you get a first job? Obviously the money, but, you know, for us, not as much now, it was to get a car. It's like, dude, you gotta have a car. I used to spend sleepless nights staring up at the ceiling thinking about my first fucking car, what I was going to get and everything like that. And I, you know, everyone, you know, so many people will be like, I was into motorcycles since the day I was born. I always loved motorcycles, but I think when you're 14 years old, you're thinking about your first
the
car.
car.
Dude.
Yeah. Oh, I
Not your
swore
first
I was going to
motorcycle.
have a Fiero GT, bro. I wanted
so
one
funny,
so
dude.
bad. I mean, it was the coolest looking car. I was like, man, I'm saving everything for a Camaro GT. I ended up with a Ford Escort. I was
The
like,
GT?
yeah, the GT.
Was it a GT
Yeah,
Escort?
yeah.
Okay, have a little spoiler and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay,
I can
all
tell
right.
you the license plate was 2RSK 187.
Damn, dude, you love
to
that car.
risk murder. How sick is that? Like, dude, that was my, and I didn't even like get that. I just got lucky with that one.
On the
People
Ford
knew.
Escort GT, dude.
Yep.
Did it have a little red stripe on it too, like the accent
No,
stripe?
it was just silver and black, silver and gray.
5-speed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I had the Mercury version.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for a while.
dude.
That was a fun car. There was zippy, dude.
By the time I ever thought about owning a car, I couldn't own a car, really. You know, I was just like,
What do you mean?
well, I mean, like, I got in trouble.
Oh, you didn't have a license?
Well, like, I had...
Or you just got in trouble?
I think I
like,
had my driver's license, no shit, for like a month.
Really?
Yeah.
It's so weird for
Before
'cause
I got
car-
arrested. like,
car culture isn't.
so I
like-
never was like, I'm going to have a car.
And I'll use car culture and bike culture almost interchangeably here because we're bike people, really. But I'm still into cars. But it's when I say I'm into cars, like I'm not into cars, like I'm not like lusting after a bunch of cars, but I'm like I appreciate them. There's some that I would like to have.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I think I use motorcycles more, no matter what year it is. But
Especially in Florida.
yeah, well, yeah, because all the cars I want have no AC. Out here, pretty dope. You can get away with that.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's true.
But and it's really way more boys than women. But it's like you never had that, like the car bug when you were a kid.
I still to this day barely have a dream car.
It's not even a dream car,
Or like
it's
an-
just appreciating certain cars.
Oh.
You're just starting to do that.
Yeah, well,
so it's not a dream car.
I'll just like point out cars that I like and to you and be like, I think I like this.
There's got to be a car, though, that when you were 15, 14, that you were like, oh, I really wish I had that car. No? Like, that must be a guy thing, because I know every single guy
I
had
know
a
that there
car
were
they wanted.
girls that I knew that were into that, but I was just like, man, I'm broke as shit. My parents don't even pay for my clothes.
Yeah.
Dude,
They're not gonna buy me a car.
There's some kid in a tenement in freaking bumfuck nowhere, Pig Knuckle, Arkansas, with a poster of a Lamborghini on his wall, though.
Oh,
yeah,
So it's like,
you know,
I don't think that
I
having
guess-
money has anything to do with it.
Okay, well, I guess I was just also very psychologically depressed when I was 15, and I was like, why me?
Yeah, sorry, I did that too. Except I thought a car would fix it.
Oh, I knew a car would
Yeah,
fix
oh,
it.
that's better.
I knew a car would fix it too, but
A
I thought
Lamborghini? Shit.
a Lamborghini
it.
would fix my problems too. I was just hoping it would be going like 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, I'm just like, I could be sad, or you could be sad in a fucking fast car.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, one of these is better.
So that's what I felt like after I got out of the mental hospital. Was I was like, yo, this shit sucks. I might as well like make the best of it.
Well, I mean, absolutely.
Go fast.
Yeah, I like going fast.
Like, I don't, might as well be weird.
It's
It's an option.
So I never thought I would have a dream car. I never really thought I'd have a car.
How about now?
That's why I, rode a motorcycle for so long and never got a car because I was like, I can't afford that shit.
so if you really look into it, so there's I
Insurance
think
is just too high in Florida.
When you think about it, a car, this is something that you spend so much time in, right? And so this is when you think about it. It's not so much like, okay, it's a money thing, or okay, I'm into what the engine does, or what the engineering behind it is. It's more along the lines of which I feel those things, but then I like them in a different way than someone else would like them, or even Jason likes them. Everybody enjoys these things in their own way, and I think a lot of it goes like, oh, this is just a consumerism in action. This is capitalism infecting the minds of kids and making them want cars. But this is something that you spend a lot of time in, especially out here. We got an hour commute to come in here. You spend a lot of time in a vehicle. And so if you're spending a lot of time in a vehicle, that's like spending a lot of time in your clothes. That's like spending a lot of time in your house. So there are several different ways you can approach this and ways you can enjoy it. One, you can have it be utilitarian. You can not care. You can be like, this is just getting me from point A to point B. I don't care. It needs to be as efficient, as utilitarian as possible. Or you could say, I'm spending all this time in this, and I spend a lot of time with this thing. I want it to be nice because I spend a lot of time with it. Or you could be, since I spend so much time in this, I want this to represent me artistically. Is that weird?
No, that's cool.
Or you could be like, I want this to be exciting because I'm spending so much time in this. Or you could say, I want this to be a multimedia experience and have the best Bose sound system possible. So while I'm in my vehicle, I get to enjoy the music that I listen to at the highest quality possible. Or you know, there's so many.
I thought you were going to say
things.
highest volume. And
Well,
I was like,
volume and
why do
quality.
people be doing that?
Yeah, volume and quality.
That's what I'm
are two different
saying.
things.
It's like, it's one thing.
I like a loud volume, trust me.
Me too,
But volume
but-
and quality, definitely two different things. So I think when you're talking about a vehicle, that could be a car or a motorcycle, it can mean so many different things to you. And I would even say that bare bones utilitarianism is still somewhat of an artistic expression. You're expressing who you are as a person through your car. When you walk out to your car and it's a white utilitarian bare bones vehicle that gets the highest possible gas mileage, that's still you expressing that, like, this represents me. This is what kind of person I am. And you know, obviously that's something that's foisted upon us through car advertising, but still you spend a lot of time with this tool.
Then why do they make
It's
all
important, you know?
cars look like? I'm gonna like ask you to insert a car here. I'm like, why do they make all cars look like
bubbles?
Yeah, why do they all look like that? Why do all cars look like a bubble now?
Well, I think though.
Why do they look like that?
I don't know. That's a good question, but I do think that if you look at everybody's individual vehicle, they do in some way represent that person.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a fact. Like, I have noticed, like, certain folks, like, have the particular, you're like, boy, that car sure
Okay,
is you.
so if I was
Right.
in a car,
It looks like you.
guys,
It's
if
like a
I
dog
was
with
a
your
car,
life.
what
Looked
kind of
in-
car would I
A
be?
Kia Soul.
Yeah, you'd be Kia
I
Soul.
know, that's why I bought it. Because I was like, if I was a car, what car would I be? I was like, I would be a Kia Soul.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I know guys who you go up to their car and you look inside and it's a fucking trash can, and you're like, nah,
I
that
don't-
fits him perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't know
He's a messy. He's
any
a
guys
messy-
like that.
Oh,
Every guy I know, their house is disgusting. Like, whether it's messy or dirty, because there is a difference between being a messy guy and a dirty guy. And some guys are both. Some guys are just one. But every guy I've ever hung out with, their car is like clean as fuck. And I'm like, please don't ever get in my car. My house, though,
Is your car messy?
oh my God, it's disgusting.
Really?
Yeah, well, I let my dog in
See,
my
that's
car.
me. I can't have my cars are usually like the clean
No.
area.
Yeah, I noticed.
need things like
I know, I
super
noticed.
neat. Yep.
No, my car is just gross because I let my dog in my car, so I'm just like, I don't know, I don't care.
Yeah, I have the mentality though that, like, if my house or my car is messy or like disorganized, my brain feels that way. Like,
Then
I
why does your
actually
desk look
feel-
like that, though?
It's on my car.
Why does your car look like that, Shay? Because you
Yeah.
have to have your house clean.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. That was
See?
the point of what I was saying. Is
Yeah.
like my house is so clean.
Care about my desk.
Everything in my house is clean. Like, I dust so often. I always sweep them off the floors on the reg.
You know what?
Everything's
Also,
super
I used
clean.
to hear this from my dad. If you have a clean desk, you're not working hard enough.
I'm a big picture guy. So.
I clean my desk every day.
Which I like to say I'm a big picture guy just whenever anybody says anything about cleaning because it sounds so pompous.
You just say you're a big picture guy anytime somebody gives you any critique.
Yeah, they're like, why didn't you do this one part? I'm like, I'm a
Big
sort of
picture
a
guy.
big picture guy, overarching. I'm an idea man, concepts, you know. Why didn't you pick that up off the ground? Because I'm always looking forward. I'm always looking up. I never look down or behind me.
I'm gonna steal that.
Sound like such a dickhead.
Dude, you don't be looking at all. To be
Sometimes
honest.
I close my eyes because I'm also a dreamer. And you got to be able to dream.
No,
big
you're like,
and then
I've seen
actualize
enough.
it. Yeah. That's because I'm
dreamer.
confident in myself. I've seen enough. I know what I'm thinking is right. I don't need someone else telling me how to do it. I got one for everything.
Yep. There's no battling that.
I'm so.
No.
You want to bet?
Well, you can battle it.
Is that a
You're still gonna
challenge?
come up with one though.
So why do you think that you don't? And this is okay because you're just starting to do it. So this is not an attack on you. This is more of you to like think about how you came into it. Why do you think that you never thought about making your transportation more personalized? Before YouTube, really, that's when you kind of got into car culture a little bit. But why? Can you think of maybe why you didn't think about that before? Because I'm curious, genuinely. Because you personalize everything else, you know. You want to you have like a pink bag, and you have like you put stickers on your Nintendo DS, and you know you have
Your
all these
laptop
other
has a
things.
Dude, I think I
cover.
need to like.
Maybe because you
I'm
you
like-
couldn't afford a car.
I just, like, literally
there's some sort
couldn't.
of connection. To
I had
that.
like, I was completely disconnected
That you could take it
from
from
all
you and you'd be
vehicles.
fine.
Even my mom could barely afford a car, so any car she had was like not personalized. It was.
Surely, but then
Shitty,
there's
like,
people out there with
but then-
crappy cars that still.
I'm just saying, like,
You know, they
cars
paint
weren't
them and they
that
do-
important in like my life as a kid. Like nobody. But
means
then,
it's- maybe
but
it's still
then,
not that important
But
to you.
then my father and my uncle, my biological father and his brother, they are so fucking into cars. Like so into they like weld their own cars that don't exist. They put electric engines in old Italian cars, you know, like they're so into cars. And I was like, I don't know. I need to go fucking. My body's so full of piss. I think I need to think about that one. Like,
Yeah,
why the fuck did I not do
genuinely
that?
think about- I'm
no,
not
I'm genuinely like.
leading you somewhere
No, I know. I know
be
you're
me.
not leading me somewhere because I was thinking that. I was like, why did it? I was like, I know I never thought I could own a
Maybe
car,
you
but
can't think of it because your piss levels are.
yeah,
dangerously
but
high.
like once I could afford so the only way I was able to afford a car, which I'm just saying, I want you guys to know, I owe less than $1,000 on my car right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking amazing to me.
Yeah. How long have you had it?
She just now got not upside down on it. By the way,
Really?
it's Kia Soul.
You're back in the black, baby.
Just got the black. Actually, got to fill the gas tank up. That should be in the black.
Okay. Well,
That's
just
good.
to show,
That's positive.
just to say, the only thing I put down on that car was
Your
Suzuki
dignity? Oh.
Your spud.
Boulevard.
Oh yeah.
I gave the delership a
They took that as
Suzuki
trade.
Boulevard as
What
my down
did they
payment.
give you for that?
My down payment
Like how much?
for like $1,000.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it wasn't awful. I mean, it was
Was the Boulevard a nice whip or what?
it was like the best Boulevard. It was like those. It was like reddish pink. You know that color that cars are
Yeah,
sometimes.
it was like an old school like Elvis pink.
Oh, nice.
You know, like magenta I
And
think it would be
white.
called.
Include this picture of it covered in snow right here.
So
that I rode in.
So if you don't have a dream car, it's still today. You don't seem to have a dream car.
I think I just got my dream car.
She doesn't know enough about cars to have.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I need to know more before
But
I
you know
decide.
a lot about bikes.
I don't.
Do you have a dream bike?
I have a dream. I have a nightmare car.
Yeah.
But
Kia
that
Soul
I don't have a
stuff.
dream. I have a nightmare.
What about bike? Dream bike?
A dream bike. I have a nightmare
Are you
bike.
building your dream bike?
I think it's also still the same thing that she just doesn't know enough bikes to have.
Yeah.
a dream
So
bike.
again, the only reason I ever rode motorcycles, well,
You didn't want to pay insurance.
I did not want to pay insurance.
Yeah.
I did not do it because I was like, I hate my parents and I want to be the baddest bitch in the club.
Yeah.
I was like,
me.
I need to get my associate's degree. How do I get to school.
Wow.
that really
noble.
helped you out.
And I knew Josh. What the fuck?
Turns out you should be
I'm
paying way
being
more attention to the
bullied.
motorcycle.
Should have bought yourself a nice bike.
A Suzuki
Yeah, look where it ended you up. More motorcycles, less college.
We're not
Okay.
proud of you. Sorry, I've just.
Looks like motorcycles have brought you everywhere in life, and college has brought you in debt.
Yeah.
There's less in
College
here.
has got
There
you
is.
right here.
Dude, so
Ride motorcycles.
yeah,
fuck
the
school.
only reason I dropped out of school, not the only reason, but one of the reasons I dropped out of school was I was the manager of a coffee shop at a performing arts center, like where they have all the Broadway plays in the city. And I was like a manager of the like food and beverage department. And one of my baristas was graduated with her bachelor's degree in psychology. And that's what I was going to school for. And I was like, holy shit, I'm employing a girl in a coffee shop who has a bachelor's degree in psychology. I need to fucking drop out. What am I doing with my own life?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic happened. And I was doing all my classes from my computer and teaching myself the biology of a brain. And I was like, I cannot do this.
Yeah.
And Josh was like,
School.
you want to come work on motorcycles at Brapstar Garage with me? And I was like, and then my parents are like,
Cheaper.
what are you doing? And I was like, hear me out, Mom. Would you rather have a bachelor's degree or a wild strawberry?
Well, there you go. Easy answer. Although a girl named Wild Strawberry with bangs and blue hair who has a psychology degree and is a barista is like my kryptonite.
Yeah.
I just want a girl with bangs who hates me. That's my dream girl.
So I only really got into motorcycle culture when I started doing YouTube, because before that, I never rode my motorcycle with anyone before.
Right.
I didn't understand why people wanted to
It was
ride next
just
to each other.
transportation.
It was
I
just
think you-
transportation. People were like, you want to go for a ride with me? Like, go ride our motorcycles together? I would be like, why the fuck do you want to do that with me?
So let's take
Like, are you trying to go on a date? Like, why?
let's take a piss break. I want you to while you go fucking fry chicken in the bathroom, I want you to genuinely think about why you didn't get into vehicles as a self-expression at all before this, or why you didn't think of it, but you did in other ways. And there might not even be maybe you can't answer it.
Money, probably.
It's not money though, because there's people with nothing who still decorate their cars.
That's a good
Yeah, like I
point.
didn't even put, like, I guess I
Look at
put
these
some
motherfuckers in
stickers.
Portland, like tagging them up with spray paint and shit. You know.
My parents would.
I just feel like you had no connection to it. Like it was just.
I put
the
stickers on
car.
my helmet.
Yeah.
But,
Was
but
it like
you
a
know
no
you're
connection
keeping
thing?
that.
Like, when you travel, like from point A to point B, do you like just zone out? You're like, you don't think about it?
Like go into autopilot.
Yeah.
A lot of times, yeah.
I think there's some people that do
I'd
that.
be
They
thinking
just turn off.
I'd be thinking my thoughts.
Sure. But some people just turn off, so it's like what they're doing while they're traveling, whether it's to work or somewhere.
Yeah,
just-
I'm
they're
not
just thinking
being
about
like,
it.
I'm commuting right now. I'm like,
Josh, do you watch YouTube
How are
videos while you
bridges
ride
built?
motorcycles?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah, all the time.
no, I know a lot of people watch YouTube while they drive. That's how I get
watch it
to
while I
find out
ride.
how bridges are built. No, that's where I get my questions from.
I listened to it. I was wondering if I was the only one.
Oh,
No,
dude, I
dude.
put it on my tank. I put on videos all the fucking time.
I did too.
It is a male thing to watch YouTube while you drive, because I do not know a lot of women who do it.
You don't do it.
I listen to stuff. No, I don't watch YouTube while I drive.
You book on tape and stuff.
I'll do that too.
Even then,
Yeah.
I don't watch YouTube while I drive. I like, even when I because I'll listen to YouTube videos.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Fucking, I'll have stuff that has like visual content with it, but I won't look at it. I'll just put it in my pocket. I don't care. Walk around the house, do shit.
I feel like you have such a worse experience when you do that.
I know
some
I do.
stuff.
I know I do. And I
It
really
is
gotta
what it
stop.
is.
But it
Like,
is what it is. I ain't got the time to fucking watch shit, dude.
I know, but
I gotta
there's certain
go. Gotta go
things that
fast.
that I'll know about or have recommended to you, and I'll see you like not looking at it while it's happening.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but-
you're getting a quarter of the actual.
Okay, but
experience.
understand that's the same reason why I don't know what the end of World War II happens. Like, I don't know what happens to Japan because you won't let me finish the documentary.
Because you barely pay attention when we watch it.
No, I was so paying attention to watch it when we were watching it, and you're literally like,
oh, it's because I haven't felt like watching it yet.
yeah, and I'm not allowed to watch it without you.
You can watch
and
it
now I
without
don't
me.
know how World War II ends.
The reason why you can't watch it without me is because you won't pay attention.
That's not true.
Okay, watch it without me.
Okay, thank you. Finally.
You haven't not brought that up about watching
I have brought it
without me.
up so many times.
You have, but you haven't been like, let me watch it without you.
I would never do that to somebody.
Watch it without him?
No, dude. Do you know how
Why?
that feels? Dude, I can't tell you how many times I would walk in on my ex-boyfriend not cheating on me, but literally watching Game of Thrones without me. It was fucked up.
Well, I always do that.
That's the problem with men. I'm taking a piss break. You need to think about what you've done.
She's full of piss today.
I'm so full of piss right now.
I saw your brain shut down a little bit when he asked you that. You were like,
Well, I was
Good
like
question.
thinking about it because I'm like, I don't know. I never thought about it.
yeah, no, totally.
Because
That's also the point of these is to answer shit fucking truth, like be like real about it.
yeah, I
Be like,
know.
yo, get
I know.
a
I
real
never really
answer.
thought about it. And the answer is
Wait.
yeah. Drum roll.
Fuck
Put my headphones
cars.
on so I can hear you. It does sound better with the headphones.
Oh, dude, it's so much better.
It's
with
like
headphones on.
voice, but fucking, it's premium voice.
It is. It's a premium voice.
Yeah, everyone's voice sounds better.
PVC.
All right,
Premium
you've had
voice.
time to urine.
Okay.
Why did you not get into cars as a form of self-expression?
Okay. So, I told you guys I grew up Jehovah's Witness and everything and stuff.
Yep. You're from Utah.
First of all, not a lot of self-expression in that religion. I don't know if you guys know that. You're not really even supposed to have posters.
Ooh, okay, that's fair.
You
So
know?
you never had the Lambo poster, is what you're saying.
No.
Okay.
Right.
No. Don't you.
No dyed hair, no nothing.
Okay. So all my tattoos on this arm are religious artwork because you can only have religious artwork in your household. Like only paintings of Jesus and stuff, angels, things like that. So there's always religious artwork in my household. So I'm very tied to that. I'm not religious myself, but I really appreciate, like, Catholics went off with like stained glass though, you know?
That's a whole other discussion, but the Catholic Church is responsible for some of the most amazing art that ever existed. Love them or hate them. Separate the art and the artist. Send me to hell. I don't care.
Dude, the Catholics were like, cash rules everything around me. Cream makes the money.
Yeah,
Dollar
they
bills,
were
y'all.
like, another painting, another one, a masterpiece. Who's making masterpieces? We'll take two.
Yeah.
Kill them afterwards. So why? Tell me. Jehovah's Witness.
Oh,
From Utah.
so not only was no, we're not from fucking Utah. So my family's Lebanese. So I don't know if you know much about Arabic people and gender roles.
They don't like cars?
No, they love cars.
They love cars.
They fucking love cars, but not for women.
So you weren't ever encouraged to do something like that, or like
Yeah.
maybe that was just the culture. You're like,
They
oh,
weren't
that's not for
showing me a wrench. They were like, "Here's a Barbie doll. Go shut up." Like,
Here's a Britney Spears album.
okay, first of all, I found that on my own. Thank you. Okay.
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 I think that's cool. I mean, I don't. So if we have a very small subsect of our audience, but there will be one, at least. Maybe they won't make it all the way to the podcast, but somewhere like between all of our subscribers, there is a Muslim woman. There has to be, right? I know for
Right.
sure. Or if not Muslim, at least Arabic, right?
Yeah,
I guess grew up in Arabic culture, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
know this. Being Muslim and being Arabic are not the same thing. Being
I was aware.
Muslim,
That's just like your opinion.
Muslim
but
is a religion. Arabic is culture, more
So
like
what's Jewish
ethnicity. But like Arabic people aren't an ethnicity; they're just considered white because that would mean Jesus wouldn't be white. So let's keep Arabic people white for now. For now.
I mean, it helps the census.
Yeah. So, women are just really not encouraged to be curious they're encouraged to be quiet, which is kind of what I attribute to me being way more interested in, like, how are bridges built?
Yeah, but were you interested in that back in the day?
No.
No, I'm saying, but because you're interested in cars now.
Yeah.
And even cars as a form of self-expression.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're into the idea of an art car.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's what you would be like if you don't have a lot of money and you want to express yourself through your car. You just have whatever shitbox you have, and you turn it into, you just hang shit off of it and paint it and make it crazy, and it's your form of self-expression. You're into it now.
Yeah, well, I guess...
Is the Kia... Like
she did a little art car thing on it. Yeah.
Your own
I
now?
like put
Recently.
seat covers on it, and I like added some stuff here and there. Like I always had a couple stickers here and there. Like I've got a sticker on it and it says honk if you love honking.
That's
It's
good.
fun.
That's a fun one.
fun.
So I've got some fun stickers on my car. Like I got like too dumb for New York City, too ugly for Los Angeles. Like I got a couple of fun things. So I'm like, hey guys, I'm stupid. Like female driver.
So, but you decorated the inside. You put little sticky things on the dash.
I did stuff
you have
recently, but that was because I was upside down in my car. Payments, and I was like,
No longer.
well, now.
It depends on what.
And I was like,
gas
oh,
is
what
on
do I
it.
do? I was like, I gotta just drive this car until it blows up. So I gotta make it mine.
What year is
I love
it?
It's a 2015.
It's a Kia Soul. It doesn't.
It's a Kia Soul. It doesn't matter, dude. They all fuck up around 100,000
literally
miles
like-
anyway.
Are you at 100,000 yet?
Yeah.
A Kia Soul is like the car version of a henchman that they didn't bother, that they like put a mask on so they didn't have to draw his face. You know, like when you're watching a cartoon, you're playing a video game,
Yeah.
and they have like the secondary bad guys, and they just put masks on them so they don't have to
Yep.
render their face or draw their face to save time.
That's the soul.
That's the Kia Soul.
Yeah, and the only reason I even
I
bought the
can see
Kia
that.
Soul,
Yeah.
the only reason I want a Kia Soul was because that was the only car I'd ever driven before. No one ever let me drive their car.
Oh, the guy selling the Kia
I didn't
Soul
have- but
saw
I-
your ass coming from 10 miles away.
No, well, I wanted a Kia Soul. I went there being like, I want a fucking Kia Soul.
They thought they probably couldn't believe. They're like, "Am I getting pranked?"
They're like, is this MTV?
Yeah, a girl who doesn't know anything about cars and says she actually wants a Kia Soul. I don't even have to. They're like
We don't have
looking.
to
They're
sell
like
her?
looking at their boys in the back, seeing if they got set up.
Right.
They're like, really? How about 18% APR? That's cool too.
I think it's 7 is what I have.
I don't know. I'm just fucking around.
Oh,
Which was
Lord.
like, I gave them a motorcycle. And I was like, that's all
You're like,
I got.
Will you take this?
Will you take this? This is all I have, and I want to get
Well,
away
you
from
know,
my. Well, I
that's
told them I was
proof
like, I want to
that
get away from my
You
boyfriend.
know what you're talking about
Like-
because they took a
Oh yeah, they took a
$1,000
dude.
motorcycle for the
And got
Kia.
her, dude.
Yeah.
Some Persian dude bought a brand new knockoff Rolex. with that
his name
frickin'
was
Kia Soul.
Chris in Indiana.
Oh, I forgot it was Indiana.
Yeah.
I'm just used
There's
to
no Persians in Indiana.
I'm just used to car salesmen being like Persian dudes, or like they're always like, at least all my car salesmen, because I've never bought cars from like normal places.
So that's
it's
the
always
thing,
like a
is, like-
storage unit with a bunch of cars in it. You know what I
I
mean?
don't know.
You buy all your cars
There
off
was just
Craigslist,
never
I
a
thought.
male figure in my life to show me Craigslist, you know?
My dad bought a lot of cars. He's really into cars. His
My
whole-
dad had a fucking Pontiac Thunderbird, and it smelled like gas and weird, and I
So-
hated it.
Just so the comments don't eat you alive, a Thunderbird is a Ford,
Yeah.
Okay, what is it then?
a Firebird.
Firebird. He had a Pontiac. My dad had a Pontiac Firebird, and it smelled like weird gas. Like, why?
Any car with a carburetor will smell like gas
I
inside.
fucking hate that smell.
So people who are into classic cars love that smell. People buy. You can
Yeah,
buy
he
candles that smell like it.
I know. He always told me I was a little bitch about it.
So
And I'm like, dude, you can't call a fucking 6-year-old a bitch.
So sensor tied to emotion. So if you had good experience in cars, or if you had classic cars and worked on them yourself, you would associate that smell with good feelings, which is
Yeah.
why people like it. You associate it with bad feelings because you're your dad.
Yeah.
So what you're doing now is overcoming a lot of those bad feelings.
I don't even smell a carburetor now.
plus, Josh, you have to agree with me. Like car stuff is instilled in you by your parents,
Dude.
Like
Definitely,
my dad grew up in the country. He and his brother, if they wanted a car, they fixed up a piece of shit and I think they started with Volkswagen Bugs, and they fixed them up, built them, rebuilt the motor, and that carried with my dad his whole life. Like my dad was every single weekend he was home. He was working on cars, and he would have a Datsun 280Z. He had cool cars.
But that's the thing is
like
my
cheap,
family
cool
my
cars.
family
Yeah.
does like cars. Like my dad had the Firebird.
Yeah.
But he only got it from my fucking uncle, who still to this day runs a like super high end like car and private plane interior decorating interior upholstery.
Where he got it from, I don't think would have affected you as a kid more than your emotions about the car.
Well, I just mean there was always like classic Italian cars around
Yeah.
all the fucking time.
But I'm saying it's not.
But I never thought about
how
it
he
as a
got it,
child.
where he got it. It's just like your emotions towards the person who had them.
I did hate my dad.
Well, I mean, and
But
that's
my uncle, I always love, and
possible
still to this day,
apart.
still love him. And he like welds his own cars, like cars that don't exist. He made a circle car once.
I remember being very into my father's cars.
Me too.
Like when I remember being like very like walking around them and being like, that's my dad's car. I remember like wanting to brag to my friends about the kind of car he had. You know what I mean?
My dad always tried to get me on the weekends to like help him ranch, and I was always into too many other things. And that was like the one thing I know. I totally regret it. And my dad is a guy who can fix anything. Trust me, it hurts me now. Like me and my brother's the same way. My brother couldn't. I guarantee my brother could barely change the oil. Actually, he's probably more qualified than I am, to work on cars. But we both just never took the time, and because that's all he did. Like he was working on cars every weekend, and I just was. And this is high school, by the way, not like when I was.
You don't
little.
give a fuck about that shit. When you're in high school, dude.
When you're a little kid, nobody. A little kid wants to play.
But in high school,
race
like
cars.
he was always working. Hey, you want to work on the car? And I'd be like, no.
There's certain kind of people who hung out with their dads when they were in high school, and they're not us.
Yeah.
And I know, and that's not saying that that's bad. It's just a different kind of person.
Yeah.
I'm friends with a lot of those people, but I can tell that they're different from me.
Yep.
And I don't. It's not in a good way or a bad way. It's just
different.
like, because I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I hung out with my dad all through high school. My dad's my best friend, and I'm like, that is a bizarre concept for me.
Me too.
I don't. Me and my dad were. If he didn't, I feel like he didn't know my middle name.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I mean? Like,
anytime
we were at
someone's like, I have a
odds,
good
you know?
relationship with my father, I'm like, "Ah, you fucking, like I get so jealous. I'm like, fuck you.
And even then, there's a lot of
You
people.
better
who,
appreciate it. I
who
hope you
had-
appreciate him, and if you don't, I spit on you.
There's
Like
a lot of people.
me and my dad are way great. Like my dad's awesome.
I love my stepdad now.
I just like I wish I would have done some of those things, but I was into way different.
There's no way it was going to happen.
Yeah.
What were you into?
Getting fucking laid, dude. Doing
Yeah.
acid.
God,
Like,
dude, that's what I was into also.
Driving fucking laundry vans.
Dude,
to
it's never
San
really
Francisco.
changed. Like, if I could stop being horny, I would be so much more farther in life.
Well,
Like, if they
you
could
were
just
probably
turn
supposed
off
to be a
horny,
no.
it'd
They
be
can.
over for you bitches. How?
There's pills for that. But then you're not interested in it anymore. You don't want things. You don't desire things. I believe that. That's like a big like.
Are you talking about
crazy-
antidepressants?
No. There, you can take shit to suppress your hormones. I truly believe that there's something to be said about like sex drive and success, though. About like, I'm like, why do I want to be successful? I think it all ties back to being like, dude, I'm just a monkey.
She's uncontrollable lately.
Dude,
Cut
I'm
that
telling
part
you,
out.
man. Speaking of uncontrollable, it's not
Oh,
having a
that's-
lot when you're a kid. It's like if
Yeah.
I had all the money in the world when I was a kid, I'd have some dumb shit.
Oh, dude.
If I had all the money in the world to get every tattoo I wanted when I was 18, I'd have some way worse tattoos than I have now.
Do you remember the Richard Pryor movie back?
What
in
was
the
the
day,
first
Toy
tattoo
or
you ever
something?
wanted?
Yeah.
Dude, you remember how he had like the dirt bikes and the little mini
You
cars?
look at that, you're like, look so badass. Dude.
I was waiting for my time to come.
Yeah.
dude.
What was the
I'm gonna
first
get called
tattoo
out.
you
Yeah.
ever
Hold
wanted?
up. Never happened.
I don't know. I grew up in the 90s or the 80s and the 90s.
You don't remember?
Oh, I remember. It just was like, it's a product of the times. I'm sure it was like some
Yeah.
tribal shit. That was very popular at the
like
time.
you weren't like, I want this tattoo. I'm gonna go get it. Fuck my parents.
Oh, I did. I got dopey on my arm at freaking 17. It was the dumbest thing I've
Where
ever
is
done.
it?
Oh, it's gone now.
Where? How?
It's gone now.
Did you get it lasered off or covered?
Covered. Yeah.
With what?
Some other crazy tattoo. My cousin is a great tattoo artist out of San Francisco. She's actually the last apprentice of Ed Hardy.
That's wild. That's
And so
cool.
she practiced on me and covered up my dopey tattoo that I got at 17. It was like that big, and it was just Dopey's face.
Is that a dwarf?
It was me rebelling and also being really high.
Yeah, like
That's
I'm
very
dopey and
good.
doped out.
Yeah. I thought it was like I was like, what can I give for $40? He's like,
Oh my god.
dopey. I was like, slap her on
Done,
there.
dude. Fucking do it up.
So dumb.
Sold before I came in, man. The first tattoos I wanted were definitely bad. But then by the time I turned 18 and actually went and got tattooed, because a lot of people got tattooed before they were 18, but I did not. But the first tattoo, it was just traditional tattoos were very popular, which now has come back around again. Now they're very popular again. But this is like, late 90s, early 2000s. There was a huge resurgence of like Sailor Jerry and tradition. It was called neo-traditional, so it was kind of like
I know exactly what you're talking about.
stylized, old school shit, you know?
Yeah, my cousin's a master of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's really what her bag is.
That's what a lot of my tattoos would be considered neo-traditional. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was just the style that was very popular at the time. So it's like anchors, but it's all like stylized differently, and pinup girls, but stylized. And
When did you get your first tattoo? How old? Like 20s?
I was 18.
18?
He's had those tattoos forever.
Yeah,
dude.
same with me.
Like-
Mine are all just straight black and white. I'm the exact same way.
He's had those
Had them since I was a kid.
Like he's had those since I was a kid.
So, growing up, my friend Chris had a great saying about tattoos. He was like, "These are scars of a misspent youth."
I say it all the time, dude. That's a good one, man.
Yeah.
The ones we could afford anyway.
Yeah,
Because if I
exactly.
had everything I ever wanted, I would have made some very bad mistakes.
You didn't get called up, bro.
I didn't get called up, man.
But you know who
some people
did? P Diddy.
Diddy got called up, man.
Diddy got called up.
Diddy made it. Diddy had everything he ever wanted, and that's what happens. You kidding?
So
Maybe not to everybody, but at
guys,
least to him.
And then
since we're here
the fall.
and we're working and stuff, I haven't been watching the news.
So you
I
don't know about Diddy?
No, I know that
You know
Diddy's
about
in
the 1,000
trouble,
bottles of lube?
but I thought he was running from the cops, right?
He slipped on lube, and they caught him.
Like, I thought he was like a fugitive of like the. I thought he was like a fugitive
was
of the
on
social war.
Another level as far as fleeing, because sometimes
He was
people
fleeing, right?
Sure,
But that was like the
sometimes
last thing.
there are people who flee a warrant, and that's like public knowledge. I don't think there was a warrant. He was on like FBI.
Yeah,
radar.
they were building a case.
FBI doesn't issue a warrant.
No, they just come
FBI
get
just
you.
watches your ass,
Yeah.
dude. So he left the country
thought-
for sure, but nobody knew he was fleeing because there was no public case. There was no warrant. There's no nothing because the FBI was behind the scenes just fucking stacking files on him, which can happen, and you might not
how
even know
long?
about it. Who
They've been
knows?
doing it for a long time because he's done some pretty heinous shit, and I think they were just waiting for the dagger, and I'm sure a lot of people are running their mouth about him right now, and so now that they have all this evidence against him,
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna be gone
Well,
forever.
like
The diddler, they call him.
yeah, the P Diddler.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be 100% honest because obviously, how couldn't I be? I'm just a girl. I don't know anything about P Diddy. I know
You
that
know who he
I
is.
thought he was I know who he is. I know he's a rapper, but he's mostly a producer, right?
So think of him like the same way you would think about Dr. Dre.
Yeah, he's like mostly a producer.
Well,
he's a rapper.
He started off as a rapper.
But he's a producer.
He became a very big rap artist back in the 90s.
Yeah.
He was huge.
Him and Mace were putting out like big albums, and they were big. And then he definitely got into producing and
I really
and
think
putting
it's like
bands together.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah,
It's
so
the
he's
exact
a
same
producer.
thing.
Yeah,
He's a
right.
producer who raps.
Yeah, like Pharrell.
And he would come in and rap on the album and shit like that.
Yeah, like
and always get himself
Pharrell.
in the spotlight. Yeah. and produced a lot of great music.
Oh my God.
You know?
I love Pharrell. Yeah. He's
so
a producer. Yeah, I get it.
This
You know, I
dude-
just wasn't growing up with rap music, you know, because the other two things I said.
Utah.
Yeah.
So, you imagine having everything and falling.
I can imagine that, yeah.
hard. Falling that hard. You imagine having it's like somebody got a search history.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I'd rather someone have my search history than my notes app.
It'd be like you leaving your Apple ID on a laptop and then the FBI
At work.
at work.
Yo, dude, they got everything.
They got everything.
I'm
They
so
went into his house.
sorry.
You saw those videos. They were in his
I'm
mansion,
so
walking
sorry.
out. No, don't be sorry. This dude sucks.
No, that actually happened to me. Like, I left my Apple ID on Jason's computer.
Oh, okay.
So, with my
Let's just
photos
say
pulled up.
I'm glad I shut the photos down quickly.
I'm so sorry.
well, I think Diddy's sorry too.
Yeah, no, Diddy left his ID open for the FBI.
Dude, they were
And,
walking out. There's pictures of the FBI walking out of his mansion, just like carrying fucking computers. Just
Yeah.
like, doop, doop, doop,
Why does he
walking
have so
out.
many computers?
For all the fucking he kept he videotaped.
You couldn't just put it on
everything.
a couple terabyte
So,
hard
Shay,
drives?
Well, he's been videotaping shit since the 90s.
His all these parties that he throws, all these sex parties,
What
all
parties?
this stuff. He's videotaped everything. So the idea was that he had
Like blackmail?
blackmail ability on all these famous people.
So they were called. The parties were called something. So he had
Yeah.
these parties. They were called. You really don't know about this.
No, I genuinely 100% like
They're well-known party.
I vaguely
Very
remember.
well-known parties.
the
These are the biggest
I
parties.
vaguely remember us watching an Oompaville video about P Diddy, and that's all I know
So
about P
he
Diddy.
threw gigantic sex parties, swinger parties. This is
Okay.
like eyes wide shut shit.
Yeah.
And they were called. He called them freak offs. This is having girls there and completely controlling their finances, and then forcing them into it. And he's well known and documented beating them up.
Oh shit!
Like
No, very
very
violent.
vicious and violent.
Beating them up, berating them, keeping them confined.
Oh shit! So this isn't.
No, this is like
isn't cool.
he's going to jail forever.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Like this is huge.
I imagined a freak off would be like everybody's dressed up as clowns.
No, he's not going. Shay, he's not going to jail for having a sexy party. He's
No.
going to jail for keeping sex slaves
Ooh.
for his sexy parties.
Yeah. And not just that, for violence on women and beating them in hotel rooms and getting caught and like doing it over and over again. And then,
I did not realize those were the allegations.
This is a
I thought he was
very
like
terrible
a
person.
groomer.
No.
I thought that's like what was up, and that like
Well, groomer is just like somebody who grooms. It's like the intro to sex trafficking.
Yeah. It is.
You're
Yeah.
basically putting somebody in a mindset of that you control them. You control their happiness, their sadness, their finances, their food, their shelter. And so they have to do what you say, or otherwise you take those things away. Or visit violence
Sure.
upon them like he did.
not the same
know?
as like putting a person in a cage. I'd say as like maybe emotional manipulation through
Well, I mean, also
producing their music.
literal cage.
But like I'm saying, like I thought he was just like emotionally and like financially manipulating the artists that he would produce.
Yes.
And that's what he was going to jail for. That is not the same as me like that's why I was poking jokes because I'm like, okay, that's like a pretty bad crime. But a crime of putting a bunch of women in cages is also like, all right, maybe I shouldn't be
So-
joking.
It's not just that, but it's also you talk about people who are artists. You have a young woman who wants a career in music, gets noticed by a guy like
or
P. Diddy.
man.
Or man. So young man or young woman who gets noticed by P. Diddy, they want a career in music, and so they're willing to take chances. They're willing to go stay at his house. They're willing to go on his yacht because they're like, holy shit, this is my chance to get my music in front of this person. And then
Oh my
they're
God.
asked to do something more. It's not all at once. It's not like get
Oh my
in
God.
the fucking room and stay there.
How many rappers are going to be in trouble?
A lot.
How many? Oh, wow.
Not just rappers. I'm sure that there's lots of people in
Dude,
the...
it's everybody.
We don't have a
Movie
Jamie, so I just need
stars
to
and freaking-
look up who he produced real quick.
It's not just who he produced. I'm sure there's plenty of people who've been involved with him
I'm
who
sure-
are genuinely just produced by P. Diddy.
I just
You know?
am yeah, but what if they were produced by P Diddy and they were diddled? and not
Well,
delete.
there's a
Part of
girl.
the conspiracy.
But they would.
There was a girl group. I forget. It was like a.
The Pussycat Dolls.
No.
No,
Maybe. I don't think so. I
that
can't
was
remember
definitely the
name.
one where they were like, "Yo, this was some serious sex trafficking."
Well,
Going on in here.
nonetheless, like would have these parties and manipulate these girls, and then would hold their music against. I mean, he's just a terrible
Yeah.
person.
Sign contracts where he owns
Yeah.
everything and
Yeah.
freaking basically just set it up where he's in complete control. And so you take somebody like that who's been in control their entire life. He's, outside of never been convicted, but like outside of like basically in plain view had murdered people.
Yeah, his
What was the name of the band? Destiny's. It wasn't Destiny's.
I'm
Child.
not
It was
there
something
yet.
like
I'm
that.
not there yet because I opened I googled P Diddy producer because it'll pull up all the bands he's produced or the artists that he's produced. But the top article, which was posted 7 hours ago, is titled "Diddy's in Exile."
Yeah. Nobody is
exile?
associating with him
I like
at
that's
the
the-
moment.
But
No,
the-
he's in jail.
Yeah, but like exile.
Denied bond.
Yeah. He's
Like-
living in exile for sure.
Denied bond.
Yeah, no, he's in jail without.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
Look,
Damn.
what's the girl that?
I'm looking as production discover. I'm not Jamie, okay?
Hold on.
He's been producing music since 1991.
Yeah,
That's
but
before I
there's
was
a very
born. Give me a
notorious
break.
Girl group that he was.
I'm
producing.
getting
I
there.
forget the name of it. Like there was a TV show that was
Mm-hmm.
related to it. I can't remember the name.
I just think it's wild to see somebody like that
Powerful.
powerful fall so fucking far.
Yeah.
And just like it was, it seems so obvious. You're like, dude, this was all in plain view. It was barely even secret.
So do you think
You
this
know?
was an addiction for him?
Man, I don't know.
You can be addicted
dude.
to sex.
I just think that
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like if you.
Well, he had a drug problem. Big
It's
time.
one. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, he was successful early. Did he work for it? Sure, he worked his ass off. Did he get lucky? Yes, also. But also, this happened early. So, success, whether it's earned or not, if it happens early, is still fucking weird.
Can I ask a dumb question? P Diddy's Puff Daddy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh God, you're so young.
I was. This stuff came out before I was born.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Puffy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Diddler. It's all the
Puff-
same.
Puffy Daddy is.
Puffy.
I don't like that name now
Puffy?
that I know all the other things. But before that, I would be like, I would like that if that was like Biggie's name. Right?
That was his first
Because
guy,
he's
his first
big.
breakout.
Yeah,
and
that's I
Biggie
see
were
that in here. He
Big as
also worked with
thieves.
Mariah Carey, LL Cool J, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z, Aretha Franklin. What? R. Kelly.
You know, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, for a time, R. Kelly was a fucking. Everybody
Dude.
loved R. Kelly for a minute, though.
Bro, I Believe I Can Fly is still one of the greatest damn songs ever.
So, I don't know how it goes down, dude, but because I've never been that successful, so I don't know what it feels like. But to have that much power,
Danny D. Kane, that's the girl group I was trying to.
Oh
think of.
yeah, that was on MTV.
Yeah,
that was on
that's what I'm saying.
MTV.
He
They had a
produced,
whole
like, this
show about it.
Right.
I remember that. I loved MTV. That was like when
And then those
Next
girls
and
got
like
paid like nothing.
the car
Like,
show.
held all their money.
Pimp My Ride was the first thing where I was like, oh, people could have cool cars.
Yeah. MTV put out some good hits back in the day.
They're like, yo.
Now it's just.
I heard you like
ridiculousness.
fish, so I'll put an aquarium in your trunk.
Pimp My Ride was the dumbest fucking show, dude.
I
hated
loved
that
it.
shit. I fucking hated that show so much.
Dude. Exhibit. Like what?
I just remember looking at it and being like, because at that time I was into cars and
Mm-hmm.
being like, why wouldn't you do something that's actually cool?
Like put a good motor in.
Yeah,
the fucking
why
car?
wouldn't you fucking make it fast or
Yeah.
fucking do this shit?
It was all
I'm like-
cosmetic.
He
And I'm
also
like, it
worked
pissed me
with
off so
Limp
bad.
Bizkit.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who worked with who are fine. I'm not trying to cast shade and aspersions on all of them,
No.
I'm just saying.
Lots of good
but
people.
you know, it's
I don't know, but if he's having public sex parties that everybody knows about it, would you go to his house and work with him?
I'm sure a lot of people would. Yes.
Like Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide?
So I'm just think about this. Like, how easy is it for people to look the other way when they don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes? When they're like, this is my ticket to success.
Not
I'll
Pusha
work
T.
with this guy. I think it's very easy for people.
Oh,
I
listen,
think that people do that
it's
all the time, dude.
space and opportunity.
You know,
right?
how many people did Harvey Weinstein bring into the, bring in and bring up who were like, this guy made me, and nothing bad happened between them
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
And they were just like, maybe
Just a
they knew he was a bad dude.
professional experience.
But they're just like, this is the guy that you go to get this shit done with.
Yeah. No,
You
it's
know,
very true.
It's like, what does it take to make a stand? If you're like trying to make it, and this is your doorway,
You have to go
and
through
nothing
puffy.
bad. And I'm talking nothing bad.
No.
Even I'm talking about nothing bad is going to happen to you. But that's the doorway you have to go through. And you're saying like that person should have made a stand and be like, okay, I'm going to choose not being successful in order to expose
Avoid it.
this
Or
or
expose
avoid
it.
it. But
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't expose it because you're not successful, so you don't have a platform.
It's true.
You're just going to be like, I'm not going to be successful because I'm not going to do it through this guy, and now your opportunity is gone. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm like, I'm not defending it. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. I'm just saying it's a fucking more complicated than just going like, yeah, that's fucked up.
Right.
That's fucked up of them to do that. I think it's a little more nuanced than that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, I also think a lot of the stuff that he's getting sled through the mud on here is probably all stuff a lot of these people do. It's just now because he's gotten caught doing all these other things, like everything else now looks so much worse.
Well, it's like
You
when they
know?
go like, oh, a crazy sex party. Like,
It's like, really?
I'm sure there's plenty of crazy sex parties
Is
that are
that
fine.
illegal?
Yeah,
Is that
dude, you
technically
can
illegal?
Go have your orgy. I'm not
Yeah, who
down.
cares?
Like, I'm
I don't know.
cool,
I'm
but-
asking, is it illegal?
No.
No.
I think in
don't
some states
so.
it is actually legal.
Yeah, is it illegal to have a sex orgy?
Some places it is.
But it's the whole beating the shit out of women thing. I just can't get behind. You know, like that.
Yeah.
That stuff is just crazy. And then obviously,
And
like
just getting
the-
away with it. Just imagine
for
someone
so
just being like,
long.
I'm just gonna anyone. I'm just
so
gonna
powerful, you can
like,
do
beat
anything.
the fuck out of some chick,
Right.
and not even worry about it.
Yeah.
And
that's
just
what
like
happened.
walk away, straighten a tie, and fucking go to work. I'm like, that's to me.
And you're caught
that's
on
evil.
That's evil.
Dude,
I
that's,
agree, bro.
And I almost don't believe in evil because I'm just like, it's very hard for me to. I'm just like, dude,
I've
the
seen-
human brain is so, but that's fucking evil. That and people like kids and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
like
dude,
anybody who
that
can walk
shit's
away from that
crazy.
and then just go live their life like it's normal.
Yeah.
And
Like,
just be like,
something's
all right, let me
really
go
wrong.
fucking go out and just go out here and live like a normal human being after doing this heinous fucking shit.
Right. Well, the
Beating
girl
somebody
who's blackened
weak,
is
raping somebody, all this shit.
That's
Yeah,
why they
it's like-
do need to bring back exile. Like, you're not allowed back in society. You need to go back.
I mean, yeah,
That's
he's going to go to
prison.
jail forever. I mean, that's
prison.
They,
You're
even
exiled.
if, like, they...
You're talking about like
If you-
exile with exposure. So you're talking about like in a vast plane. That's
Like,
different.
Stick them on an island with like
Because jail
venomous
is exile.
snakes. It is, yeah, absolutely.
But why did that fucking article say, like, exile is
That's
like
because
jail?
everyone's leaving him.
Yeah, nobody
nobody's
is
standing up
coming
for
to
him.
his defense.
How
at all.
could you? If you stand up for that dude, you're probably, like...
Well, you're gonna get.
Pretty tough, dude.
You're gonna get. Yeah. You're
yeah.
gonna catch
You,
some
if
of
you're
that.
standing up for him, it's probably because you're like, I hope they don't.
See me
I'm
on
a-
there.
Oh, no!
They got me on that
Yeah,
party.
dude.
Well, if they have all the computers, like...
A computer?
Yeah, all the computers.
If they got all the computers, dude. That's what everyone's saying now. They're like, I'm just saying right now, Diddy's not suicidal. Because everyone's like, oh, this is like the Epstein shit.
It is.
Oh my
'Cause
god! Oh my
he's got
god!
dirt on
Didn't
so
what's his
many
name
motherfuckers.
go on Joe Rogan and he's like, all this shit's gonna get exposed this year.
I don't know.
It was Cat Williams, I think.
Oh, he did call it. He did. He even
did.
Said, I think he called P Diddy by name on that shit.
Yeah,
too.
but he also like wore a fucking amulet that he said was magic or something. like, dog, you should. If you're, I'm like, he did say a bunch of shit,
He
but then he's
did.
also just like, this is a far seer amulet that allows me to turn back time. I'm like,
I'm gonna be 100%
What the
honest.
fuck?
I watched the highlights.
no, I watched that whole episode.
I did not
I
watch the
did
whole
too.
episode.
Cat Williams,
He's crazy
is
as hell.
insane.
I did not.
I love him.
I didn't
That's
watch
great, but
the
like-
whole episode of Joe Rogan where of that of Terrence Phillips.
I'm
Where
saying-
he was Terryology, where he was like, I made my own math.
I'm gonna go back 1 second and just say Cat Williams said a lot of legit stuff, but also he believes that he wears a magic amulet around his neck like a wizard. So just take it with a grain of salt, dude. Yeah. Like, he's great. There's a lot of people out here who have watched the Cat Williams highlights. They're like, dude, that guy knows what's up. He's fucking real.
Yeah.
I'm like, watch the whole episode.
Yeah,
I didn't.
He's definitely out there. He's insane. Right, he's a comic wizard.
Oh my God, Joe Rogan propaganda'd me.
I have 2 jackets up there.
Yeah, but I want mine.
I want mine, Daddy. I want it now.
You don't talk to the diddler like that, that's for sure.
Goddamn, no, hell no.
Everyone thinks about, like, I'll be a kept woman until they're like, yeah, but the person you're being kept by.
You're in a cage. I was going to be kept
ideal.
in a cage.
Quaaludes?
This is the difference between submissive and brat. Being a brat is like...
My eyes just went...
Being truly submissive, that's work for somebody else. They just have to take care of you. Being a brat, it's like a fun back and forth. You're like, oh, it's like being annoying, being fun, teasing.
Yeah, it's improv.
Yeah.
But sexy.
So, ultimately, the diddler did it. He's going down. It just remains to be seen whether he offs himself, whether by force,
Yeah.
Dude,
by
Either
himself.
accidentally or not.
Do you think that's why DMX shows no love to homo thugs?
Dude, you look back at that, it's gotta be, right?
Right?
Because there's so many dudes back in the day in the 90s who rapped about, like, yeah, these rappers are actually gay. And I always like, oh, it's an insult.
How you gonna explain fucking a man? Even if they squash the beef, I ain't touching his hand.
Dude, he shows no love to homo thugs.
I don't even know what that means.
That's why he's not touching his hand. It's not because he's gay. It's because he's the diddler.
Well, he's gay, too. Like,
Well, it's also because he's gay, but also because he's like, even if we squash the beef, I ain't touching his hand.
Well,
dude.
he's been known to.
Yeah, he's just voracious.
Maybe he's voracious. Yeah.
I think he's just a.
I mean, listen, I don't care what you do, like in your sex life, like that part of it should be totally meaningless. It's the violence part that he's getting picked off for. Yeah. Like the stuff of, potentially blowing up vehicles, beating the daylights out of women, potentially killing Tupac,
right. We can't say
others.
He did it, but like everyone knows he fucking did it.
Yeah, he killed Tupac.
The motherfucker basically said it, man. I mean, you're like, yeah, dude, he killed people. He's tried to be a gangster his whole fucking life.
What he's not, and we all know for sure, he is not a good person. And I'm a believer in karma, and it's coming back to get
I just
him right
realized that P Diddy is y'all's generation of like Drake. Drake is my generation of P Diddy.
Dude, Drake sounds like a creep, but I don't think he's keeping anybody in cages.
No, I don't think so.
Don't know that.
I don't think Drake is even remotely the same type. I think he is a groomer. I think that they're starting to prove that.
You don't think he was at P Diddy's parties?
I have no idea.
So maybe if they keep letting him go, maybe if he didn't get busted now, he could turn it. He would eventually be like, I'm going to ascend to the throne of Diddler. But, maybe they cut it off early. Yeah.
I think that level of narcissism that P. Diddy's at is like beyond anything we've seen in a minute. And I totally attribute it to pills and drug abuse. And then getting so caught up in doing all these things that finally, like, people got sick of it and started tossing him under the bus.
Yeah. You can only be so successful while being a dick.
Yep. There's for so long before people hate you.
People say, like, oh, this whole, like, grind set, Sigma male bullshit where it's like, oh, you just got to bulldoze people and fucking you got to be the boss and fuck everybody who's not you. Dude, there's something to be said for that. I'm saying that can work to a certain degree.
Until you turn into the dude from Apocalypse Now and you're just fat and like trying to change the script. You
lost me. But
what's his name?
Until you turn into
Marlon Brando.
Until you turn into Marlon Brando.
I think it's more along the lines of somebody who's a little bit of a diva like Marlon Brando was, and way more along the lines of like we're talking about like Gecko. You were talking about like the whole like Wall Street mentality that a lot of the people. So the late '80s, early '90s, cream, cash rules everything. The ideal of this was born out of 80s excess. So you had this kind of Wall Street attitude, get money, fuck everybody thing that happened in the 80s. This is what I think. And that bled over into popular culture in a huge way. And that really is what a lot of, rap culture, and not just rap culture, lots of other things as well, that the money thing was born out of. This was the excess of the 80s. We're rich overnight. All of a sudden, we've created a society where you have money instantaneously. And so the way you did that and the way that was paraded around was by being absolutely ruthless. Yeah. Being a ruthless businessman, not taking no for an answer. Doesn't matter. You'll hurt anyone. Drop your best friend to make one more dollar. Yep. Anything. And so I am saying, I think that to a certain degree that can work. If you absolutely put yourself first and say, fuck everybody, that will get you to a certain level. And maybe if you're lucky and you're very good at some things you do, it can get you even higher, like someone like P Diddy. It can get you way higher. But ultimately, if you don't have a tribe, if you don't have people that you ride or die for, if you don't have people you love and you're loyal to,
at the end of the day, you're going to fall. You're alone. And without that, without those people, yeah. I think you really, I think that's what
Cream,
happened.
Right?
And
is
it's
Cash
shown.
Rules over there, is the Wu-Tang Clan? Did I get that right? Please.
Yeah, no,
God,
that's Cream.
Tell me I'm right.
And I'm not saying that I'm just saying that I just use that as an example for the attitude of get rich or die trying.
I know, but I also thought that was like a good time to insert you have a tribe, like people around you.
I will say that without having people who are loyal and have your back and you're good to them, like when you're at that level of craziness that Diddy's at, like the loyalty to him is gone.
Right. The only loyalty was ever money and power.
That's it.
And that's it.
And really, at the end of the day, you have nothing if that's all you have.
Cut that off. What do you have?
What do you have?
His freak.
Not his freedom.
Yeah.
You can take his freedom, but you can never take his freak.
Well, you can take my freak, but you will never take my freedom.
Do they still kill people? Do they still be killing people? No, not in prison. Like the
death penalty.
The death penalty, but
the death penalty definitely still exists unofficially.
Yeah,
but is it the death penalty like?
You're talking about like officially FBI, sanctioned, like in public.
We should cut that out of the podcast. But like legit,
no, sure.
It's like FBI shit. Yeah.
So no, not FBI. So the FBI doesn't decide. Death penalty is decided on a state by state basis.
No.
So
I knew that, but it's like, but isn't the FBI the one that's after him?
They're building the case, but he'll still be prosecuted in a state.
Heard.
And a lot of times,
you're not prosecuted by the United States of America.
If it goes to the top court, and now I'm losing a little bit. I'm not exactly sure, but I believe that you can be prosecuted by, if you go all the way to the top. If it goes to the Supreme Court, now it's the Supreme Court, which is the whole United States. Now it's federal. But
that definitely can get you the death penalty.
Yeah,
but,
so that's
otherwise
that's
it'll be a
if it's a federal thing,
basis.
do we federally do the death penalty? Was what essentially what I was asking.
I believe that they do, but I think that it's
crime.
pretty fucking rare.
I think that's what I was asking.
'Cause
more
I'm just like,
about is P Diddy going to be killed?
This is a really. I'm like, I don't. I might have to cut this later.
That's what I was saying.
I don't understand why they don't
execute
traitors still. I'm like people who like sell secrets to other governments and they bust them doing it.
Isn't that like part of the Constitution?
Jason, I don't understand why they still don't do public hangings.
Well, I might cut that.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, I'm just like, dude, just Benedict Arnold, like you sold secrets to another government. Like that's the death penalty, dude.
Hang publicly.
Well, I think there's still laws in place.
They don't ever do it, but it's like at least not officially.
Yeah. Well, I don't think officially that a lot of times the death penalty is decided in court either.
Exactly. So it's like they be killing people all the time.
Yeah.
But
who's
like
they?
That's the question.
The drop ceiling.
Yeah.
The drop ceiling rules everything
Power.
around us.
The powerful people. And sometimes those
God?
people aren't even government. Those are
Dude.
big business. Those are.
I won't be. It would not shock me if
Diddy disappeared.
He dies, dude.
Yeah, no.
Offs himself.
No, because you're pretty
Bowen.
sure. We're all pretty sure Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself.
Not a chance, dude.
There's no chance.
And it's
that man
weird
killed
that it's like completely
memes
accepted,
are
but also
true.
you're just like, of course he didn't. Why would he kill himself? He had a chance. He could have gotten off.
You know why people I think don't care? Because he was such a piece of shit that, like, honestly, it's not worth investigating.
Yeah, I'm like of the mind that he was going to throw somebody under the bus,
Yeah,
and they're
of
just like,
course.
he's got to die.
They're like, he can't. He knows
He
too much.
could have taken down, I'm sure, a lot of very
Yeah, like
powerful people. And in fact, what was the other woman that was involved in that?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, like.
But she's got her
very
mouth shut,
quiet.
dude.
She's very quiet.
Loyal
sure.
as fuck.
I'm sure she got a conversation. They were like,
You
shut
wanna-
up.
You want to end up
They're like probably
Jeff?
like do 10 years. You could probably get. I'm sure they'll let her out eventually.
Sure,
Like, you wanna
she'll do
die?
that. She'll do
Just
half
like-
that.
Yeah, do your 10 years and
She'll
fucking
do
get out,
5.
or just die.
Yeah. I'm sure she was advised to be very quiet.
Dude, there's no
And,
way. I wonder what'll happen to Diddy because he's like not of that. These are all like some Burberry wearing frickin' like Martha's Vineyard motherfuckers. P Diddy's like
P Diddy's so far removed from
Yeah,
being
dude.
hard. I think that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
his face looks like it's filled with Botox.
Yeah, it is.
it's
I'm
filled with
sure it
regret
is.
right now.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's in an orange jumpsuit eating a meal off
Not
of
the cute kind
a piece
either.
of stamped aluminum right now,
He's
dude.
got some chili
cheese.
and some ramen and
Oh,
some
dude.
Fritos, and he
Bro,
is just
I wonder
like,
if they got him in a cell with somebody. I wonder if he's got a roomie.
when
No
you have that
way,
much money.
no way,
I
dude.
think
He's
you're-
probably on a high profile. Like,
Yeah.
did nobody touch him?
Right.
Yeah, this case is super high profile. I'm sure he's alone. Like he's been, I don't know.
How do you go from being like, I got like 10 houses, a house in every state, house in Barbados,
Every car you could imagine,
bro, anything,
supercars,
fucking,
More money than God.
supermodels,
Silk
everything
sheets.
you need in life,
and you're in a prison cell.
to a steel toilet.
Damn, dude.
That's gotta.
I don't
be
feel
a
bad for him. Like,
Oh, I
good,
don't either.
But I'm like, just the idea of that fall is pretty wild.
It's huge.
I bet
You
he's
know?
cold
It's
right
probably
now.
one of the biggest falls of all time.
Because you like when very powerful people fall, it's usually like they get killed. You think about like Caesar,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
presidents, or you think about shit like that where you're like, dude, it's not like you just go to jail forever.
Can you think of a bigger
Disgraced.
fall than this?
Like, what's your Roman Empire?
Yeah. Like what's bigger than what person at this level with this
So-
much power has fell this hard?
This hard,
Michael
like going to
Jackson?
jail? He didn't go to jail though.
No, not at all.
Like, who
He got
actually
die
went to
in
jail?
Neverland Ranch. That went to jail.
By
dude.
the way, I've heard Mike's still alive.
Yeah. I've heard Tupac is still alive, and he lives in fucking Wisconsin.
Well, maybe that's probably they're gonna get Diddy before he reveals that.
Yeah.
Fuck, down
Once he's
no.
in jail, Tupac's like, "Psych, I'm alive." I'm just glad he's
Finally,
dead.
they got him. They're like, dude, they've just had him
Can't
in
be
fucking,
tried for the
they've
same crime twice.
No, the FBI has him in like, what's that called? Like,
He's gonna come out as a star
Protective-
witness.
Custody.
they have him in protective witness
Tupac was
control.
rich too,
Witness
dude, and he
protection. Witness
fucking had some
protection.
fly threads and enjoyed some nice things in his life. I don't think he's living in no protective custody, dude.
It was
Pac.
Yeah, dude.
Tupac?
That's
Pac's
yeah.
dead.
No, it was
He
a
got
joke.
smoked in Vegas.
Oh, okay. I would just say I can't imagine like people like that. They're just like, dude, they ain't freaking going underground.
No,
They like their
man.
nice things.
They love the attention. Yeah, I mean, that's what
Who was
they
the
do it
dude
for.
underground? Was that Saddam Hussein who was hiding in that little hole?
But that's so. There
he
you
was in
go.
a house actually.
I would say that's a fall.
Saddam.
Saddam would probably be bigger than Tupac.
Yeah, he
if
had
I had to think of
everything.
somebody, he has somebody who like basically owned a country.
Yeah.
Gold plated everything.
And then
Statues
he
of
was living
himself.
in a hole.
That's how big the Diddy
Is
thing
he
is.
the one who had an
is
Xbox?
the only thing you
and
can.
you could like.
No, that's Bin Laden.
That's Bin Laden had the
so
Xbox.
The only it's such a fall that the people you can compare it to most, and I'm saying there's been plenty of disgraced rich people,
Oh yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm talking about like going from being I'm on
Top
the
of
tippy
the
top
world.
to
Yeah.
being in a jail cell,
Yeah.
and being like, is the FBI going to kill me?
Right.
The only people you can compare it to is dictators.
Yeah. World leaders.
Give me my phone.
huge, dude.
I can look it up.
Look up who.
I don't know. Like,
The rise and fall of
Rise
the
and-
The biggest fall.
largest.
Saddam Hussein was a good one though. That's
That's
like
a good. That's
yeah,
a
it's
good one. Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
gotta be
honestly,
rich,
it's because
you
there's
know?
a meme going around right now being like, I found something that was the same shape as the
the
hole.
Saddam Hussein bunker where he was like in the hole hiding.
Have you seen
and that's
that
too
meme?
when they pulled
No.
him out of the hole. That image was so fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, yeah. it
And I
was.
remember seeing it because, dude,
he was
it's
so
Shay, you don't-
dirty.
I don't remember
It's
that.
hard for you because
I don't know
also
when year was that.
when I was a kid, Saddam Hussein was like a household name.
Yeah,
Dude, everybody, because of the Gulf War.
Yeah.
Everybody knew who Saddam Hussein was. And he seemed like the most untouchable motherfucker on the planet.
yeah.
You know, you're like, no.
we couldn't find him anywhere.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
he
even
was-
then, before that, he was just like gold plated, fucking balling out of
AKs.
control.
I was 8
You
when
know?
they found Saddam Hussein.
What was it? 95,
03.
03. I was
95,
Dude.
I was born.
Born?
And then they dragged him out and they fucking hung him publicly.
Yeah, why don't they do that anymore?
Wild, dude. That's wild.
We need to bring back shame. Like,
like Game of Thrones style.
yeah, so I don't know. I think that's probably just because I'm Jehovah's Witness. I believe in shame. Like maybe something in being Arabic. Like I don't feel guilty. Like I'm not Catholic. You know? I don't have any guilty pleasures. I only feel shame for my pleasures.
I have guilty pleasures.
I don't feel guilt.
The difference between shame and guilt, I think, is best exemplified by Japanese culture versus American culture. In so much as a Japanese person will do anything, commit any atrocity, steal, murder, lie, and not feel bad about it. They only feel bad once they're caught. And that's a shame culture versus a guilt culture, is that you're like, I know this is bad. I think that guilt culture is morally superior. That you should feel bad about bad things after you do them without having been caught.
I said guilty.
No. I know. I'm just saying this is the difference between a shame culture and a guilt, because it's a very weird.
Yeah.
It's a very weird step because the interactions. A lot of Europeans exists in a shame culture, it's a very
It's Catholic.
weird. Sure, but it's like it maybe sprung from that, but now it really is just American,
Yeah.
or Western more than
Wait,
American.
did you say shame or guilt?
Guilt is Western? That's a Western culture thing.
No, it's
Shame
a
is
Catholic
that.
thing.
Shame has been a part of
No,
Japanese culture for a long time.
But
though. Like,
it's
dating back to,
so
like,
it sprang from that.
samurai.
But you're like, it is uniquely American though, so that's where it came from, surely. But it is an American culture
Yeah.
thing. That
I
is
think
how
I'm just
Americans
getting
are.
sleepy.
Which is fine. We can wrap this up.
Yeah, we
We're
should
on a
wrap it
completely
up.
different topic.
Yeah, I was
now.
like, we got to wrap it up. I was like, I'm actually kind of hungry.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sure that Diddy is shameful and guilty.
And he's probably hungry and cold like I am right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely cold.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He's probably like, they probably give you the tiniest blanket.
I think
Hope
that
so,
even
dude.
at you're a high profile guy like Diddy, they probably
Give
give you
you a
some
blanket?
special treatment.
Do you
Yeah.
think he has
Like
a
when you
blanket?
have that much money and
I
that
don't
much
know,
power
yeah.
and you're in jail.
I'll tell you,
I
I feel like if I
When
worked in the
I
jail,
hope
I'd be
not.
like, fuck that motherfucker.
I know, me too.
I'll tell
bro.
you guys, I grew up being like mostly vegetarian, vegan, and they do not give you any alternative options in jail at the time.
Mm.
When I was in jail, they did not give me an alternative.
Do you think they should?
You got the slop like the
I
rest
got
of-
caught with a half a gram of weed, man. Yes, I am a special case.
How old were you?
Dude, I was 15.
And you went to jail?
Well, I mean, they put me in, like, they didn't call my parents. They just, like, were fucking with me. And they called my parents the next, morning.
They put you in like a drunk tank or something?
Essentially.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
That's jail.
That's not what
That's-
they do to
prison
kids.
is vastly
I didn't say I went to prison.
Yeah, I know. Puffy's in prison.
I said I didn't get an alternative to my ham sandwich.
You did like 4 hours in a drunk
It was
tank.
not 4 hours. They didn't call my parents till the next morning.
Okay.
So, like,
What
I was
time did you get
arrested
picked
at,
up?
like, 10 p.m.
Yeah, been there.
Do you think that that the cops should make decisions on the street for the crime? Like, this one wasn't so bad, so it should be.
Judge, jury, executioner.
I don't know.
By-
I shouldn't have to make these decisions
by
while
a law enforcement
a
officer.
girl shouldn't have to make those kinds of decisions while she's hungry. I'm saying.
Don't get pulled over by a hungry female cop. Much less
Oh
all
my
hungry female cops out there.
God. You're so fucked.
That's gonna be a bad day.
All right, I think it's gonna about
Oh
do
my
it
God.
for this
Yep.
episode.
Could you imagine
Hopefully
sassing her?
No hungry female cops made it all the way to the end. I love you all equally.
Yes.
It's going to be Winroad therapy. And she's like, what the fuck?
Yes.
All right.
Subscribe to the channel.
Leave us a like. Leave us a comment. Tell us about your first shitbox. Let us know if you've ever been arrested and describe your experience down below.
We do have a upcoming shitbox to show everybody.
Yeah,
here
no.
very
We have
soon.
an investment, we like to call it.
Investment.
Yeah, it's an
yes.
investment opportunity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Investment opportunity.
Thanks for sticking all the way to the end. Let us know if you made it to the end, along with the stories that you share. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and we're gonna go be warm.
Don't be a Diddy.
Yeah, do not be a diddler.
Don't be a diddler.
Shame. And guilt.
Yeah, you got to feel guilt and shame.